Morning, sixth graders. Good morning, sixth graders. Get excited to start your first narrative where you're going to be using an actual plot mountain brainstorm, just as real authors do, because you are real authors. Imagine that you are living in ancient Sumer and Hammurabi is your king. You just did something very bad and broke the law. In Sumer, Code 196 reads, "If a man put out the eye of another man, his eye shall be put out." So you face punishment by that code. Write a narrative that tells your story. Be creative and be sure to brainstorm using the plot mountain. So before you go and actually start brainstorming, you have to answer, or this is the first part of your brainstorm. Answer this question: what is your name? So you can choose your own or take on a new character. Remember that you are imagining you're a person writing in ancient Sumer. So you're going to say, I live in ancient Sumer. What is your name? So if I'm doing this, I'm going to brainstorm. My character's name is going to be Katie. I'm going to go by Katie. And then 2, what law did you violate? So you broke a law that was very bad. The law that I violated was going to be that, and I know we don't know all the laws in this time, so you can kind of make one up. I stole from my neighbor's house. So remember that because of this code, if a man puts out the eye of another man, his eye shall be put out. In my story, I'm going to show my character stealing from a neighbor's house. And then what do you think is going to happen by the end? They're going to steal from her house too, because that's what this rule means. So make sure that as you decide what law you are going to violate, it's something that would actually make sense in ancient Sumer or Mesopotamia many years ago. Okay, so now that I have this down, I'm going to go ahead and just jot down what's going to be in each part of my plot. I'm going to do it over here because it's easier. Okay, so in my exposition, that's the beginning part where I just learn about setting and characters. I'm going to put details about Katie, really describe who I am as a character because I am Katie. I'm going to describe the setting. So use what you've learned about Mesopotamia and ancient Sumer to describe what it looked like. And then also just sort of like, I know that my character Katie is going to be breaking a law. So I'm going to make sure when I talk about her, she seems like she's always up to trouble because that would make a lot of sense. Go ahead and make sure that you fill in your exposition for whatever your story is going to be about. Okay, and next I'm going to fill in my rising action. So whatever action now is sort of finally starting to happen in the plot, there's some suspense and drama building. So I'm going to slowly, in my rising action, describe Katie breaking into her neighbor's house. So I'm going to be like, I am slowly walking into my neighbor's house and sort of describe this scene where I break the law. And then here, let's see, my climax has to be the biggest action and the most emotional and intense part. So here I'm going to have Katie steals, Katie gets caught stealing, and maybe Hammurabi's there too, and then enforces this law where Katie has many items stolen from her home. So again, this is the brainstorm that I'm making for me to start my draft later. All right, now I'm thinking, what's going to be in my falling action? My falling action is sort of when some events actually start to roll over. We're going to start to see our conflict get a resolution. So here I will put what is going to happen after my climax. I'm going to have Katie cries at home. Katie apologizes to her family. Maybe Katie has a whole family of people that she really disappointed. Now that I think about it, I'm going to make sure I include that in my exposition. And then our resolution is where we really see it all tied together at the end and get it solved. So I'm going to show that Katie, or, I'm using the word Katie here, but I will say I in the story. Katie realizes she will never steal again. And then maybe even over time, I'll show Katie gets a job, pays back the people she stole from. I know you can't see it. Sorry, I'm taking that in right here. So this is what my plot mountain brainstorm looks like. Make sure that yours is similar, but it's with creative ideas about what you want your story to be about. Awesome. So now that you have that done, you are going to start your narrative. Today, you are only doing the exposition. So I'm going to look at just the stuff I put in this first box, and I'm going to write a couple paragraphs of my exposition. Remember, you want a lot of detail. You should use inner dialogue. Describe the setting of Mesopotamia and your character. No actual action will happen yet, but I really want to see what is going on in the exposition. in at least a few paragraphs. I am also going to be collecting this whole packet at the end of the week. Every day, you're going to add on a different part to your narrative. So make sure that you make your exposition just about 2 paragraphs.